I'm going to put my hat down a little bit. Good evening all and welcome to what is Christmas week. It's Sunday the 20th or somewhere around there of December, and of course we move into Christmas week. So good evening everybody, and let's see what we have in store for us tonight. You'll be pleased to know we've got 6 rounds of crappy trivia all about Christmas, whether it's something to do with science and nature or whether it's something completely obscure that you've never heard of before in your life. It's all to do with Christmas. So first of all, let's just say hello to Clive and Janet, who just joined us from Stockton. Clive and Janet, I think, had a fantastic finish last week. Where were they last week? Oh, yes, Clive and Janet, 56 points. They were in 2nd place last Sunday. So congratulations to them for a fantastic effort last week. Martin's just joined us. Team of 1 from my COVID isolation bedroom after my trip to Wales. Nice one, Martin. Oh, well. So does that mean you're now stuck in Wales for the week, Martin, or what? We'll have to see. But you'll have to let me know. Are you not coming back for Christmas then, Martin? You're actually stuck there in isolation. Robin's saying, good grief. Oh, well, it's nice to see Robin's online already. Good evening, Robin. I hope we got some of those Christmas cracker jokes of yours ready. Michelle's just saying good evening to everybody. Hope all is well. So who's in the team tonight, Michelle? I've got Charlie with you and the rest of the gang, or is it just you and Charlie? You'll have to let me know. Lisa's just saying, you look fabulous. I don't know about that. I've been in real trouble, actually. Last night, I was in no fit state for anything. I've had a bad tooth at the front of my mouth, which I'm trying to soothe with some beer tonight. So hopefully the beer will put everything. Oh, Martin says no in Dunchurch. Oh, right. So you're back in isolation again then, are you, Martin? I thought you'd already had the dreaded virus. You can't go down into isolation, but maybe, what the hell. Right, we've got 26 people online, raring to go for tonight's quiz, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot more joining us this evening. So good evening to Jed and Tracy. They're saying hi to everybody. So hi, Jed and Tracy. Good evening, Mike Yates. Hope all is well with you, Mike, as we move into this Christmas week. And I hope you've got plenty planned, going seeing all the family or whatever. Yes, quite. No, I'm with Charlie, says and Michelle. No James tonight, so it's just Charlie and Michelle tonight. Right, last week we had some fantastic scores. In first place last week were Paula Lewis and the Quizzy Rascals on a fantastic 58. Clive and Janet, as I've already mentioned, was second on a fantastic 56 points. And close behind them were Don Quixote on 55 points. Then we had a couple of teams, the Rugby Rotary Club and PRS, both on 54 points. And then we had a whole gaggle of teams, the famous 5, Squeaky Pob, Michelle and Team UK USA, all on a fantastic 53.5 points. So who else has joined us so far? I have, but Tina doesn't want to risk getting it again. I don't blame you, he says. Right, so you're isolating at home then for Christmas now, Martin. Locked in, don't blame you. Stick at home for the week. You keep yourselves busy and happy, can't you? So what the hell? There'll be plenty of telly to watch, I'm sure, this week. Lisa's saying, ouch, nothing worse than toothache. Get to the dentist. I did ring 111 this morning, which is, of course, the national helpline for people that have got problems. And they were about as useful as whatever else. Obviously, there are no, don't appear to be any emergency dentists around at the moment. Never mind. What the hell? Right. Andrew Lewis has just joined us. So good evening to Andrew and Jane from sunny Elvertoft. Well, it's been a nice evening. I've been out watching the stars this evening, watching the 2 planets, Saturn and Neptune, not Neptune. I was going to say Uranus then, but it's wrong. Sorry, Jupiter and Saturn through my telescope this evening. Well, actually, it's not my telescope, but that's another story. There's going to be a very close conjunction tomorrow night when the 2 planets almost align. It's going to be the first time in 460 years. And I have to say there were less than half the diameter of the moon apart tonight and very bright. And you could see the rings of Saturn, which was quite impressive. Lisa's just saying, sorry to hear about all the COVID stuff going on in the UK. I hope everyone is okay. Stay safe. At least you're not still dealing with Trump. No, we're not. Thank God for that. Faye's just said, hi all. Must just be a solo booby tonight. Not sure if Jackie will be able to join me. Oh, that's a shame. Never mind. You have to see whether she can join you for Christmas. We'll have to see, Faye. And Kevin's just signed in from the Rugby Rotary Club, so they're ready to do business tonight. Good evening, Kevin, and all our friends in the Rugby Rotary Club. I think I'm on car park duty tomorrow, so I might see 1 or 2 of you there. Good evening, George. Hey, hi, I like the shirt. The nice hat. Good evening, George. Hope all is well with you. I'm ready to do battle tonight. Ian Miller's joined us evening from sunny Long Lawford. So good evening to you, Ian. And Ian Anthony Jones has also joined us. Don Quixote in a very strong third place last week, signing in from Watts Lane, Bonneville Gardens, and Bryan Close. Now, where's Bryony Close? There's an interesting one. And Bonneville Gardens. I presume that means somewhere in Manchester and possibly somewhere in London. Anne Anderson's just joined us. Evening from Alan Dave. They're now, of course, in lockdown tier number 4. They've been, shall we see, what do they call it? Promoted into tier 4 from a dismal tier 2. They were in the other week. So the whole of Essex and the the southeast now seems to be in tier 4. Thankfully, we're still in tier 3. Not that it makes any difference whatsoever. Because all the pubs are still closed and the only things that are open are the shops, which isn't really much fun unless you want to do a lot of shopping, I suppose. But never mind. Clive and Janet have joined us from Stockton. All cloudy up here, no planets in sight. Well, that's a bit of a shame. Well, the planets are already set anyway because it was only a brief hour at best just at sunset there. Ridgeways have just joined us. Good evening, Anthony, Paul and Trish. Hope you're all keeping well. And if you've got your Christmas planned, I trust we're having Christmas on the narrowboat, are we, Anthony? You doing the cooking for your mum and dad on the narrowboat Arga? That should be good fun. George has just joined us. Hello from New York, is she saying? Looking very cool, Nick. I don't know about that. Never mind. There's my snowman. Oh, there he is. He's still alive. Sorry, the screen's a little bit. Let me just see whether I can bring the snowman more into view. There we go. Then you can see little Nick just behind me on the right-hand side there. So good evening to Rory and Georgie, the Yorkies, raring to do battle tonight. As I said, it's all just Christmas trivia tonight. You'll be pleased to know. I know you hate these Christmas quizzes, really, but they come around once a year, obviously. And you should know all the answers by now, shouldn't you? Keep doing it every year. The givers have just joined us. So we've got Upper Toft ready to do battle tonight. Good evening to Jane and Graham. Hope all is well with you two. Vanessa's just joined us. Good evening. She says you're looking very Christmassy. Well, good evening, Vanessa. I'm sorry I can't see you because I'm sure you look very Christmassy as well. Tina says, hi, Nick. Good evening. All Tina signing in from non-isolation suite. I like the hat, so that's what I like to see. Good evening, Tina. Hope all is well with you. Footy Fox have also joined us, as has Carol. So good evening to Footy Fox 86. Hope you're all well and keeping spirits up. And Carol's just joined us from the only one I know that is still possibly in tier 1. Carol might be allowed to go down to the pub after we've finished here tonight. Are you in tier 2, Carol, or are you in tier 1? I'll be interested to know. Right, Pick and Mix are here. And so good evening, Pick and Mix. Hope all is well with you, gang. It'll be the first time in years that we haven't met you in the pub on a Christmas day, but hey, what the hell? There's always next year. Steve's just joined us. Stephen Hills and Dexter the dog. Is Dexter awake or has he gone to bed already? We'll have to see. He's taking him out for a long walk today, I hope. So good evening, Hills and Dexter. Carol and the gang have just joined us. So happy Christmas from me, Glenn, Hillary, Roy, Daisy, and Alan. So good evening, all you. Hope you're already up with all your Christmas knowledge and know everything that needs to be. PRS have just joined us. Looking very festive. Lydia and Angie joining in the spirit? No, I wouldn't say so. I could swing the camera around, but I probably won't because I'll be told off. Angela's pulling her tongue at me or pointing her tongue at me. And no, they haven't quite joined in the festive spirit, but never mind. I'll be getting her to get the stockings out later. Oh, no, we won't go there. Chris Speaks just joined us. Good evening, Chris. And welcome to you and the family. Hope all is well with you. Have you been out playing golf? My mate Keith apparently was on the golf course today somewhere and said it was absolutely dreadful, so they gave up after 10 holes or 9 holes, halfway around, I think. Oh, yes, Carol's just saying they're still in tier 1. Well done, Carol Green. Penny Graham, there's another one that's just recently promoted from sunny Holland-on-Sea. They've been promoted from the marvellous tier 2 as they were, I think, Penny. Is that not true? To tier 4. Fantastic. I'm sure that's really helped your Christmas, but never mind. It's a grim situation we are in the UK, but let's hope that we can all get this vaccination sorted out for next year and that we can all get back to normal, he said knowingly. Yes, Chris was saying no golf Saturday. Course was waterlogged. Yes, well, there we have it. Squeaky Bob, evening all. Neil and Tracy have just joined us. So, Squeaky Bob, as have the Quizzy Rascals. So, good evening, the Quizzy Rascals. Last week's winner. Winners on a fantastic 58 points. So, they're the team to beat again, as are Clive and Janet from Stockton. Love the hat. Man at the door asked for a small donation for swimming pool. Gave him a glass of water. Now that's a good joke. That's a good one to start the evening off. Chris has just joined us. Good evening, Nick and Lydia. Like the outfit? Yes, it might get a bit warm by the end of the night, this outfit of mine, but never mind. It's getting warm already. But oh, it's my son's outfit. Let me not claim it's mine. But the only thing it's missing is some sparkly lights, I suppose. But I think it probably ruined the image with all the sparkling lights. Mick Roberts has just joined us. So good evening, Mick. Mick and Bev are online. Just trying the toffee beer. This is a toffee beer that we were both trying to wrestle this toffee beer. The last one they had in Aldi's this week, and Mick was there and deciding. He said, "Where's this toffee beer?" Then I said, "Oh, I've just got it." But thankfully, I gave it to Mick to try out and see what he thought. Right, what's that? Diana's saying that Randy Scouskett's signing in tonight. Excellent. That's what I like to see. So good evening, Diane. Hope all is well with you. Georgie's asking a good old Christmas favourite. She's saying, what's the difference between snowmen and snow women? Snowballs. Oh dearie me. Right then, a quick reminder of what rounds we have in store for you tonight. We're starting off. First round tonight is entitled Christmas Tide. Christmas Tide. I think if you write that down as one word, Christmas Tide, there are actually 13 letters in that, so we should have 13 answers possible in the first round. Penny's saying, no, not yet, still in tier. Well, I don't know for how long. Will you make the most of it, Penny? That's all I can say. Tier 2 is not a bad tier to be in. I'm sure they put the whole of Essex into tier 2. Whatever, never mind. I don't understand the tier system anyway. We were supposed to only have 3 tiers in the whole of England, but now I was surprising we've got 4 tiers. We're getting more like Scotland. Because they've got 5 tiers, haven't they, in Scotland? Dear God. Never mind. Right. Christmas Tide is the first round. Round number 2 is called Christmas Science and Nature. Christmas Science and Nature. Christmas number 3 is a Christmas Trivia Trail, where the last letter of the first answer is the first letter of the next answer, and so on and so forth. Then round number 4 is just general Christmas knowledge, followed by a Christmas initial letter link with a very Christmassy link. And finally, of course, you'll be pleased to know we end up with some dreadful Christmas trivia just to finish you off at the end with 10 questions on just general Christmas trivia. Right, with a couple of minutes to go. I don't know if anybody else has got a silly joke they want to share, but do feel free. My hat is getting hot, actually. Oh, it's a bit warm under this hat, but never mind. We've now got 75 teams online raring to do the quiz tonight. Do remember to give me a like if you like the quizzes. I don't know what's sticking out the side of it. I've got a bit of wire sticking out. Oh, that's the battery. That's where the battery's supposed to go. Plug into my head. All right, Jill's just joined us. So good evening from Jill and Steve from Middle Toft. So we've now got Upper Toft and Middle Toft. We're just waiting for Lower Toft to join us. There's enough Tofties about. Good evening, Steve and Jill. Hope all is well with you. And you're raring to go for Christmas. I don't know what tier you're in now. What's Cambridge come under now? Have you moved into tier 4 or are you still in tier 3? That'd be interesting to know. Robin's just saying there is actually a tier 4. It's a big room that's just got Dominic Cummings, Rita Ora and Kay Burnley in it. Oh, fine. Ian's just joined us. So Ian, good evening to Harry, Julie, Ian and his bottle of Shiraz. Graham's is just saying we can't trust atoms, they make up everything. They do make up everything. So well, right, minute to go. Let me just zip through last week's winners and losers. Last week we had Paula Lewis first place with the Quizzy Rascals on 58 points, closely followed by Clive and Janet last week on 56. Then in third place we had Don Quixote on 55. They were hotly pursued by PRS and the Rugby Rotary Club on 54 points. And then we had a gaggle of teams, the famous 5, Squeaky Bob, Michelle, and Charlie made also with Team UK USA on 53.5 points. So that was last week's standings. Let's see how we get on tonight. Oh, Sarah's just joined us. Good evening, Sarah, Russ, James and Joe. Have we got the whole team out tonight, Sarah, or is it just the 2 of you? I noticed, what did you mention? You mentioned, my wife mentioned Sarah today. I can't remember what she'd mentioned, but good evening, Sarah. Always about the cat. Yes, dreadful things, cat. What? No, Angela didn't say that. No. Right then, top your glasses up, get your pens at the ready. It is 1:15. It is time to go. We have 80 teams or 80 concurrent users online. Do remember to give me a like if you like the quiz. The more likes I get, the higher we get up in the rankings. So, without further ado, let us get off with round number one. As I say, just use the letters from the word Christmas tide. Christmas tide. So your first answer's got to start with the letter C. It's possibly not the easiest, but it's pretty straightforward. So question number one, which famous actor died on Christmas Day 1977 in Switzerland at the age of 88? He rose to fame in the era of silent film. It's a two-word answer I'm after, starting with the letter C. So which famous actor died on Christmas Day 1977 in Switzerland at the age of 88? He rose to fame in the era of silent film. Let's keep that one quiet. That was another film-related question. The Yorkies will love these two. Yes, never mind. Another two-word answer. Which actor was born on Christmas Day in 1899? He won Best Actor Oscar for his performance in the 1951 film, The African Queen. It's a two-word answer I'm after. So which actor was born on Christmas Day 1899? He won Best Actor Oscar for his performance in the 1951 film, The African Queen. Somebody we've all heard of. But it's not too ageist, even if he did die a few years ago. Never mind. Right, just topping my beer up. Right, question number 3. This has got to start with the letter R. Letter R. Which Christmas song written by Johnny Marks and recorded by Brenda Lee in 1958? Oh, what? No, I didn't read that right. By the song's 50th anniversary in 2008, the original version had sold over 25 million copies. I should have put a was in there, shouldn't I, Liz? Yes, I need to know the name of the song. So which Christmas song, sorry, I left the word was, written by Johnny Marks and recorded by Brenda Lee in 1958. By the song's 50th anniversary in 2008, the original version had sold over 25 million copies. It's the song we hear every year at Christmas, well, at least once. It was sung in, when was it? 1958, the year after I was born, that was. Blimey, O'Reilly. Oh, I'm giving away my age again. That's got to start with the letter R. Question number 4, starting with the letter I. Oh, I've even got the answer onto that one, but never mind. The official territory of Christmas Island, about 224 miles south of the island of Java, lies in which ocean? So question 4 again. The official territory of Christmas Island, about 224 miles south of the island of Java, lies in which ocean? Starts with an I. Put the wrong answer there. Never mind. Right, we're keeping up so far. Good. Question number 5. If you drop the guy's title, we don't need his title. Who was a fellow of Trinity College and the second Lucian Professor of Mathematics at the University of Cambridge, who was born on Christmas Day 1642? Stuart's just saying, is that the Atlantic or is it the Itpififit? So question 5 again. Who was a fellow of Trinity College and the second Lucian Professor of Mathematics at the University of Cambridge, who was born on Christmas Day 1642? Oh no, you need to keep his title in, sorry. Made him balls up there, didn't I? Yes, make sure you keep his title in, otherwise that one doesn't work. Sorry. So 3-word answer I'm after, starting with his title. Oh dear. Shouldn't read him, should I? Never mind. Question number 6. Are we ready with question number 6? What mineral that is a hydrated phosphate of copper and aluminium is the birthstone of someone born on Christmas Day? Can't be that hard. Starts with the letter T. So what mineral that is a hydrated phosphate of copper and aluminium and is the birthstone of someone born on Christmas Day? Sorry, I'm trying to read what's popping up at the same time as the questions are. Roy's just said, are ice skaters paid a flat fee or are they on a sliding scale? Oh dear, that's pretty good, that one, Roy. I like that. Keep them coming. Question number 7. This starts with the letter M. M for mother. Now aged 87 years old. Which English actor starred in the Muppets Christmas Carol? Well, it could be the Muppet Christmas Carol, actually. Is it Muppet or Muppets Christmas Carol? I don't know. Might have that wrong. So now aged 87 years old, which actor starred in the Muppet Christmas Carol? Was it Muppet or Muppets? Come on, somebody tell me quickly before I go mad. Have I got it right or wrong? Don't know. Somebody will come back with the answer to that one. Right then, everybody, question number 8, starting with the letter A. Is that right? I'm not keeping up with this really, but never mind. Born on Christmas Day, 1954, which singer appeared in the 1983 music video Sweet Dreams Are Made of This? 2-word answer. Ah, there's more than one. Okay. So, born on Christmas Day, 1954, which singer appeared in the 1983 music video Sweet Dreams Are Made of This? Do you want me to sing that one? Sweet dreams are made of this. I can't remember what. That's the only line I can remember. What? I could hum it. Sorry, Robin. That wasn't for you. Whenever I start singing, Robin, just do that. It works. You don't have to listen to me. We were watching Whitechapel last night. It was a repeat of the old episodes on television. And there was this ghastly murderer that went around. He hated noise. And anybody that made noise, he killed them. So I was watching it last night and thinking of you. Question number 9. Listen carefully, starting with the letter S. After publication of Charles Dickens' 1843 novella, A Christmas Carol, which word was popularised and has come to mean a misanthropic person? I could name one or two, but I won't. So after publication of Charles Dickens' 1843 novella, A Christmas Carol, which word was popularised and has come to mean a misanthropic person? The word itself actually entered the OED in 17 something or other, which I was amazed at. Well before Charlie Dickens' time, but never mind. Question number 10. Stupid question, you know, there's got to be one. Here we go. Named after Zulius Bell and Bert Bell, Ding Dong is a town which can be found in which American state? Now, it makes it a bit easier because it starts with the letter T. So, named after Zulius Bell and Bert Bell, Ding Dong is a town which can be found in which American state? It's a stupid question, but never mind. It was nickel falling down a bit. Let's just there we are. All right. Question number 11, starting with the letter I. An igloo is a type of shelter built of snow. But from what language does the word igloo originate? I will be liberal with that one. I will be liberal. So an igloo is a type of shelter built of snow. but from which language does the word igloo originate? Question number 12 is a little more cultured. I will expect Carol to get this one. Carol Jackson I'm talking about here. What was the surname of the English composer born in Bradford in 1862 who wrote Sleigh Ride for Orchestra in 1889? Starts with the letter D, which makes it a bit devilish, but never mind, I'm sure you'll all be able to work it out. So what was the surname of the English composer born in Bradford in 1862 who wrote Sleigh Ride for Orchestra in 1889? Just a one-word answer I'm after, obviously. And finally, question 13 is a little bit more up to date. Two-word answer. Which song was a UK Christmas #1 in 1995 for Michael Jackson? So which song was a UK Christmas #1 in 1995 for Michael Jackson? See, you didn't know there was so much rubbish you could get Christmas questions about, did you? There we have it. That's the end of the first round. So get your answers down on a sheet of paper in front of you. Do remember the initial letters of each of your answer, including that which one did I say? Oh yes, the title of number 5 goes first, his title. And they should spell out the word Christmas. Christmastide. Christmastide. I don't know where the word came from, probably made it up, but never mind. Right, you'll be pleased to know we've got 82 players on board tonight taking part in the quiz. That's very good. We're 82 concurrently online, at least, watching the quiz. And the figure's static, which means we must have a good connection tonight. It must be because they're smiling on me. The gods are smiling on me because of my quality hat. That's what it's all about. Right then, everybody, are we ready to do some marking after that round? Put your pens down. Get your answers in. Make sure they're written down. Here we go then. Number 1, the famous actor who died in Switzerland, who rose to fame during the silent film era, was Charlie Chaplin, of course. Number 2, the actor born on Christmas Day, who received his one and only Oscar for Best Actor in 1951, was Humphrey Bogart. Well done if you got that. Number 3, of course, Brenda Lee's famous Christmas song, was Rocking Around the Christmas Tree. Rocking around the Christmas tree. Sorry, Robin. Dear. Question number 4, of course, the territory of Christmas Island is in Indian Ocean. Number 5, it was Sir Isaac Newton, of course. It was born on Christmas Day, 1642. Number 6, I was after that mineral turquoise. Number 7 was Michael Caine, who starred in the Muppet Christmas Carol. Number 8 was Annie Lennox with Sweet Dreams Are Made of This. Number 9, of course, that word was Scrooge, although I did say it came into the English language much earlier. Number 10, named after Zulius Bell and Burt Bell, Ding Dong is a town in Texas. Well done if you got that. You could have put Tennessee, but hopefully you put Texas. Now, this was tricky. An igloo is a type of shelter built of snow, but from what language does the word come from? Well, it comes from the Inuktitut language, but I will allow you once only. Inuit will do. The correct answer is actually Inuktitut. I can't even pronounce it, but never mind. But Inuit is fine, so give yourself a point for that. Number 12, of course, was Delius, as in Frederick Delius, famous for his Cuckoo in Spring, of course. And finally, number 13, it was Michael Jackson's Earth Song. I was after Earth Song, so well done if you got that. So there are your 13 answers to round 1. Let's have some scores in, see how you've fared. I think with the exception of possibly Delius and 1 or 2 of the other devious questions, we should have some good scores there. So Chris is straight off with a 12. Well done, Chris. Beat Sarah and the gang are on 11. We've got Squeaky Bob straight off with a 10. Well played then. PRS off with a 13. Well done, PRS. Jed and Tracy, a very respectable 12. Steve Farnan and Hills and Dexter the Dog are off with an 8. Ian Miller's off with a 12. Andrew Lewis with a 9. We've got Nick Roberts with a 12. Thanks, Orly. On our own, she says. 9 for her. The Givers are on 12. Well done, Jane and Graham. Mike Yates is on 9. The Yorkies doing very well on 10. Jill Pugh's on 10. Anne Anderson's on 13. Great score there. Tina Davis on 10. Vanessa Hughes is on 10. We've got Tom Quazzotti on 13. The Ridgeways are on 13. Well played them. Martin Davis is on 10. Are you two doing it separately? Clearly. Paula Lewis is on 12. Kevin Keenan and the Rugby Road Club are on 11. We've got Randy Scouse gets on 30. Sorry. The Randy Scouse gets on 13. Not Randy Scouse Girls. Sorry. Pigamix on 12. We've got the Famous 5 on 9. We've got Home Alone 6 with a fantastic 13 to start them off. Well played them. Went to my work Christmas party on Friday, but most people turned up dressed as Hank Marvin. He'd overshadowed the event. See ya. Clive and Janet from Stockton on a 12. Footy Fox 86 on a 7. Got Split the Difference starting on a 12. Carol Green 10. I got Delius because I was born in Bradford. Well played, Carol. Penny Graham's on 9. One thing I've noted during my Christmas shopping this year is that none of the shops are selling any mistletoe. Right. We got loads down here, Matthew, if you want some. Michelle's on 12, and we've got Team UK USA on a fantastic 13 points. Now, I know there's 1 or 2 teams haven't put their scores on so far. I'll expect 1 or 2 more of you next round to get all your scores down. Round number 2 is a science and nature round. Very straightforward science and nature round. I'm sure you'll all love this one. Well, you might do, you might not do. Round 2, science and nature. Right then, here we go. Question 1. Also the name of one of Santa's reindeer. What is the literal translation of the natural phenomena known as Blitzen in German? Christmassy science and nature. Yes, that's about right, Robin. So also the name of one of Santa's reindeer. What is the literal translation of the natural phenomenon known as Blitzen in German? Born in Germany. Question number 2. Dead easy, this one. What star sign would you be if you've been born today, the 20th of December? So what star sign would you be if you've been born today, the 20th of December? Well, for all of those who didn't know, I was born on Christmas Eve, and I'm a different star sign. Not a lot of people know that. What's that? Question number 3. This is a good one. One for you to work out. What 4 chemical element symbols can be used to spell out the word conifer? So question number 3 again. What 4 chemical element symbols can be used to spell out the word conifer? I suppose the previous one, Dean, was probably a bit more science than it was nature. But I suppose you can have a bit of both in that question, question 2. So question 3, I'm asking for 4 chemical element symbols that can be used to spell out the word conifer. That's an interesting one, that one. It took me some time to get it, I have to say. Now, do you remember all these have got some kind of Christmassy connection? As will become apparent in the next question, question number 4. If measured by the number of scent receptors, what terrestrial mammals have the best sense of smell? It's not an exact science, this one. I did a bit of reading on the subject, but I got a fairly vague understanding of this. So if measured by the number of scent receptors, which terrestrial mammals have the best sense of smell? Well, I wonder how the new lockdown restrictions are affecting everybody's plans. Not good news. It wasn't good news before we started last week, let alone what's happened recently. So I hope everybody's keeping well. and out of harm's way. It's been a long old haul since March. Glad we went away on holiday in February last year, or January last year. Didn't get back till March. Perhaps we brought the lurgy back with us, but never mind. Question number 5, listen carefully. Plus or minus 1 year, I'll give you a year on this one. How long does it take a Scotch pine Christmas tree to reach a typical retail height of between 6 or 7 feet? So plus or minus 1 year, how long does it take a Scotch pine Christmas tree to reach a typical retail height, which apparently is 6 to 7 feet? That's what most people want. It's an interesting question. And that is a Scotch pine, according to my question. If there's anything to do, anything like our tree that we got a year ago that we've been growing in our back garden, it's only grown about 6 inches. Yeah, Scots. I would have thought it was Scots. I don't know why I've got Scotch pine. Let's call it a Scots pine, should we? Yeah, definitely Scots. All right. I don't know why I've got Scotch. Scots pine. We'll call it Scots pine. Although it's always a mistake me changing the questions, because it probably is a Scotch pine. Never mind. Scots pine, we'll call it. That's fine. Well spotted, Diane. Right then, question number 6. On which 2 days of the year can the winter solstice occur in the southern hemisphere? So on which 2 days of the year can the winter solstice occur in the southern hemisphere? Ugh. Thanks for that, Leslie. It's probably the Nordic pine or the Eurasian whatever pine. Well, all right. Let's not worry. The question I've got is about a Scots pine, but maybe I understand. Right then, question number 7. It's an interesting one. Which European country is classified as the most northerly capital city in the world? So which European country is classified as the most northerly capital city? Which European countries? Oh, I haven't really said that very well. We've been burgled. The Christmas cake is gone. I think it's been stolen. Oh dear, that's very good, that one, Jill. Right, which European country has the most northerly capital city in the world? Sorry, I hadn't written that question correctly at all. I blame Lydia for not checking it correctly. Poor old Lyd. Question 7 again. Which European country has the most northerly capital city in the world? That's more like it. Don't quite know where that one went. And talking of northern capital cities, you could possibly see these there. What is the scientific man? Dear, oh dear. I haven't checked these at all. Sorry, give me a sec. Just rewriting all the questions. So question number 8 again. What is the scientific name for the natural phenomenon known as the Northern Lights? So question 8 again. What is the scientific name for the natural phenomenon known as the Northern Lights? I was just looking for a bit of paper because I had a thing sent through the post box about a trip to see them, but next year, I think we'll see. Question number 9, well known for its red and green foliage, widely used at Christmas floral displays. From which country does the poinsettia originate? We don't need a word from on the end of that. I haven't read these at all. We don't need a word either in there. Question 9 again, well known for its red and green foliage and widely used in Christmas floral displays. From which country does the poinsettia originate? A very nice plant it is too. Tonight I'm drinking lest we forget. Lest I forget what I'm drinking. Makes it easy. Question number 10. In what decade of the 19th century were electric Christmas tree lights first used? So question 10 again. In what decade of the 19th century were electric Christmas tree lights first used? That's an interesting question. And there we have it. There's 10 very loosely, and I mean loosely, connected science and nature questions. So how we all fared with those? I will give you a second to just get all your answers down. Especially I've had to rewrite half the questions there, but never mind. My silly fault for not reading them through correctly, isn't it? I think most teams will have done all right on those. Not too tricky. Maybe with the exception of the last one, which is a complete guess, I think. There you have it. You can have a proper guess at that one. Right then, everybody. Any more jokes? Do feel free to stick them in now. Question number 1 then. Let's go through the answers to the science and nature round. Blitzen in German is known as lightning. Lightning is blitzen, as in blitzkrieg, I suppose. Number 2, what star sign would you have been born on the 20th of December? That's Sagittarius. You would be a Sagittarian. Now then, the 4 chemical element symbols I wanted to spell out the word conifer were cobalt, nickel, fluorine, and erbium. However, if you put cobalt, nickel, and iron, I will give you half a point, which I think is fair, because that's what I came up with. So, cobalt, nickel, fluorine, and erbium for the full point. If you put cobalt, nickel, and fluorine, or cobalt, nickel, and iron, I will give you, no, you can't have fluorine and iron. It would have to be cobalt, nickel, and iron. I will give you half a point. Right, question number 4. If measured by the number of scent receptors, what terrestrial mammals have the best sense of smell? Apparently, it's bears, specifically polar bears. They can smell a female sow at over 100 miles away. Apparently, it's been proven. God knows how, but they can. They can also smell through 3 feet of ice. Yes, that's an interesting one as well, isn't it? Never mind. Right, question number 5, plus or minus a year. How long does it take a Scots pine Christmas tree, even if it's not a Christmas tree, to reach a typical retail height of 6 or 7 feet? That's 7 years. 7 years. So plus or minus a year will give you the full point. Number 6, on which 2 days of the year can the winter solstice occur in the southern hemisphere? That's June the 21st or June the 22nd. Either of those 2 days. Number 7, of course, the most northerly capital in European capital is Reykjavik in Iceland. Number 8, the scientific name, known as the Northern Lights, is the Aurora Borealis. Number 9, of course, the poinsettia originated in Mexico. Now, a lot of people know that. And finally, number 10, it was the 1890s that Christmas tree lights first were used. 1890s. I mean, electric lighting wasn't really used until the 1900s generally anyway. Right then, everybody, we've got no more jokes coming in. Let's just get some scores and see how we're fared. Have we got any 10 out of 10s on that rather tricky science and nature round? We are yet to see. So let's have some scores in from everybody. So we've got Randy Scouse Gits on 21.5 point. Well played, Diane. Squeaky Bob, what happened to the man who stole an advent calendar? He got 25 days. Oh dear. Jen and Tracy are on 19. Squeaky Bob move on to 22. PRS are on 19. 13 from me, said Faye. Well, yeah. Mick Roberts is on 19. We've got Graham and Jane Gifford on 19.5. The Yorkers have moved on to 17. Hannah Anderson's moved on to 19. Martin Davis saying, oh dear, on 14.5. Andrew Lewis is on 14.5. Ian Miller's moved on to 20. Well played in. Carol Dean on 19. Famous 5 on 15.5. We've got Tina Davis on 18.5. We can see where the brains are tonight. Footy Vox 86 is on 14. Picker Mixer on 18.5. Mike Yates 15.5. We've got Anthony Ridgway, and the Ridgway's on 19.5 points. Penny Ground's on 15.5. We've got the Rugby Rotary Club, a fantastic 21 points. Harry Julian in and his Bottler Shiraz is on 20.5. We've also got Don Quixote, 21.5 points. Split the difference. We've moved on to 22 points. Harry, Steve and Dexter the dog on 15.5. We've got Clive and Janet from Stockton moved on to 20. Carol Jackson, Home Alone 6, doing very well on 21.5 points. Jill and Steve Pure have now moved on to 18.5 points. We've got Chris Speak on 17.5. Team UK, USA on 18.5. Michelle and Charlie on 18.5. We've got Paula Lewis and the Quizzy Rascals on a fantastic 21 points. Sarah, Russ, Joe, James are on 16. And we've got Roland Forbes on a fantastic 18 points. Well played, Roland. Right then, everybody, next round tonight, you'll be pleased to know Vicky and Roland. Well done, Vicky and Roland. Great to see you. Nice to put your scores in. That's the way forward. Right then. Round 3 is called the Christmas Trivia Trail. Christmas Trivia Trail. Now, for all you that haven't done a, for all of you, not yous, all of you that haven't done a trivia trail before, you take the last letter of your first answer. It's the first letter of the next answer until we get to number 10, where the last letter of number 10 is the first letter of number 1. So here we go. Question number 1. One of those born on dates again. Born on Christmas Day, 1918. Which ex-president of Egypt was assassinated in 1981? 2-word answer I'm after. So born on Christmas Day, 1918. Which ex-president of Egypt was assassinated in 1981? Oh, damn it, 2:30, 11. Now do remember, if you're enjoying the quiz, to give me a like. I can see we've only got 22 likes so far, so if I can boost my likes up, come on, Robin, give me a like. It all makes that better. There's a like button somewhere on the bottom. Takes us up to the next tier, you see, in YouTube fame or something. God knows, huh? Clive and Janet from Stockton. Why do they lock garage loo doors? Someone might clean it. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear. Right, on with question number 2. The original St. Nicholas was an early Christian bishop who was born in Patra in AD 270. But in which modern day country would you find Patra? So question 2 again. The original St. Nicholas was an early Christian bishop who was born in Patra in AD 270. But in which modern day country would you find Patra? Of course, I was named after St. Nicholas, being born at Christmas. My mother came up with a saint's name. All my brothers are known as saints, apparently. There were 5 of us, and my mother called us all after a saint. St. Peter, Stephen, Gregory, Nicholas, and Anthony, just for your information. And I was number 4 because I was born at Christmas. I was going to be called Carol because my mother was convinced I was going to be a girl. In fact, I wasn't, clearly. Right, question number 3. Ultimately derived from Germanic paganism. What is burned in the hearth as part of traditional or modern Christmas celebrations in several European cultures? So, ultimately derived from Germanic paganism. What is burned in the hearth as part of a traditional or modern Christmas celebrations in several European cultures? You're right, Carol isn't a saint. So she didn't name me after Carol. Saint Carol. Ah, you don't know that. Oh. Are you completely sure about that, Dean? Have you researched that? Might have been St. Carol of, I don't know. Now, do remember this is a Christmas trivia trail, so the last letter of that 2-word answer is the first letter of number 4. According to legend, Melchior brought which precious gift to the baby Jesus? What's Robin come up with? Lots of men are called Carol, e.g. Carol Reed, the film director. Is there a Saint Carol? That's what we want to know. I wasn't being sexist in any way. That's just my mother obviously thought that in 1957 carols were generally female, I suppose. At that time, the fact that Right, having got that precious gift, which is a one-word answer, of course, because there were only 3 gifts given by the wise men. Question number 5. Anastasia was the name of one of Cinderella's 2 ugly sisters. What was the name of the other? It's what I always forget, but thankfully I've got the answer in front of me, so I haven't forgotten it this time. So Anastasia was the name of one of Cinderella's 2 ugly sisters. What was the name of the other? It's a one-word answer, starting with the last letter of the previous answer, of course. Right then, take the last letter of her name, and it's the first letter of this person. This is a 2-word answer. Question number 6. What Hollywood macho man played the lead in the 1996 film Jingle All the Way? Sure, that's pretty straightforward. So what Hollywood macho man played the lead in the 1996 film Jingle All the Way? It's a 2-word answer I'm after. If you can spell it, you're doing better than me. Question number 7 has been the butt of numerous jokes on Facebook. What is the surname of the person with the sultry voice who sang Driving Home for Christmas in 1986? So question 7, what is the surname of the person with the sultry voice who sang Driving Home for Christmas in 1986? I'm sure it's one of Robin's favourites, that. I say that because he's got a voice very similar to mine, of course. Right, take the last letter of that surname, and it's the first letter of number 8, or the answer to number 8. With a name adopted from Latin meaning coming, what name is given to the Christian penitential season from the end of November to Christmas? So with a name adopted from Latin meaning coming, what name is given to the Christian penitential season from the end of November up until Christmas? I'm sure we all know that one. Us Christians always write that on our calendar every year. Right then, taking the last letter of that one-word answer. It's the first letter of this one. Number 9, in the traditional Christmas song, The 12 Days of Christmas, how many lords were there a-leaping? So in the traditional Christmas song, The 12 Days of Christmas, how many lords were there a-leaping? Again, just a one-word answer, of course. And that leads you comfortably on to number 10. Do remember to take the last letter of number 9. And it's the first letter of this. Question number 10, the Christmas tree and the snowflake are types of what type of astronomical object? It's a one-word answer, beginning with the last letter of the previous answer. And, of course, the last letter of that answer is the first letter of number 1, if you're lucky. So question 10 again, the Christmas tree and the snowflake are types of what type of astronomical object? One that I was looking at only the other night. Not one of those two. And it wasn't Uranus. Yeah, singular answer there. Right, there we have it. That was pretty straightforward, wasn't it? Nice little tricky trivia trail. I'm sure you've all managed to work those out. Possibly, possibly not. For all those that do a Christmas quiz every year, there's very few new ones to come up with every year because they've all been had before. But never mind. That's not the point. You might be doing, well, you won't be doing a Christmas quiz this week, other than me, I suppose, but never mind. Right then, let's do some marking. Put the pens down now. Put your thinking caps away. Get your peanuts and your beer ready for next round. Here we go then. These are the answers to the Christmas trivia trail. We started off. The ex-president of Egypt who was assassinated in 1981 was a guy called Anwar Sadat. Anwar Sadat. That gave you the T for the current day country of Turkey. That gave you the Y for the Yule log that's burnt in a hearth. That gave you the G for that precious gift, gold, of course. That gave you the D for Drusilla. Drusilla was Anastasia's sister. That was a tricky one to remember. That gave you the A for Arnold Schwarzenegger. Don't know whether you'd be able to spell that, but never mind, have a good go at it. That gave you the R, of course, for Rhea, as in Chris Rhea's driving home for Christmas. That in turn gave you the A for Advent. I told you it was making up the calendar. That in turn gave you the T for 10 Lords a Leaping. And that, of course, gave you the N for the word nebula. The Christmas tree and the snowflake are both nebulas. And that, of course, gave you the A, because I wanted a singular of that, which took you all the way back, of course, to Anwar Sadat. So well done if you got 10 on that round. Well done indeed, because that was, well, it wasn't particularly tricky, but never mind. So well done. Let's have some scores in, see how we've all fared after that. Do remember to replenish your glasses and get your nibbles ready. So we've got Mick Roberts, fantastic, 29. Well played, Mick. Georgie and Rory are on 26 for the Yorkies. That's a great score. Faison now on 21 points. Well played. Paula Lewis on 31. PRS have moved on to 29 points. The Ridgways on 29.5 points. We've got Randy Scouse-Gitts on 30.5. The Rugby Rotary Club are now moved on to 30. Sarah, Russ, Joe and James are on 23. We've got Hillary, Steve and Dexter the Dog on 23.5 points. Jen and Tracy are on 28 points. Roland saying ups on 22. Never mind. It was a good go. If you haven't done many trivia trials, it's not easy to understand what's going on, but never mind. Carol, Home Alone 6 are on 29.5 points. Graham Gifford and Jane have moved on to 29.5 points. Tina Davis has now moved on to 26.5. The Famous Five are on 24.5. Chris Beak on 25. Carol Green's moved on to 26. Well played, Carol. And she's just gone off my screen somewhere. Damn. Oh, Martin Davis now on 20.5 points. We know where the brains are on this team then, Martin. Ian Anthony's James and Don Quixote on 30.5 points. Well played them. Mike Yates on 24.5. We've got Ian Miller on 27. 40 Fox 86 have moved on to 22. We've got Harry, Julian, Ian and his bottle of shouts on 30.5 points. Penny Graham is now on 23.5 points. Well played, Penny. Andrew Lewis is also on 23.5 points. Jill Pugh and Steve have moved on to 25.5. So Lower Toft is not, Middle Toft not quite doing as well as Upper Toft at the moment. Oh dear, we've got BBC News just coming through. Anne Anderson on 27. Clive and Janet from Stockton on 29 points. Chris Pickard's moved on to 24.5. Well played, Chris. Split the difference now, moved on to 31. Got Team UK USA on 28.5 points. Michelle and Charlie on 27.5. Pigamix on 26.5. Got Squeaky Bob on 27. Carol's just saying no St. Carol, but there is a St. Caroline of Bavaria. Well, perhaps Caroline, yes. I could have changed my name, couldn't I? Oh, well, never mind. There we have it. Right, some fantastic scores there. So we've got Split the Difference on 31. We've got Harry Julian in on 30.5. We've got Don Quixote on 30.5. We've got Rugby Rotary Club on 30. We've got Randy Scouse-Gitts on 30.5. We've got Paula Lewis on 31. So we've got some good scores here at the moment. Round number 4 is just entitled Christmas Knowledge. Pretty straightforward. 10 general knowledge questions, all about Christmas. So are we ready? Eyes down, look in, raring to go with this round. Question number 1. Robert L. May was responsible for the invention of which famous, colourful Christmas character in a 1939 book written by him for his company's ad campaign? I put in twice there. So Robert L. May was responsible for an invention of which famous, colourful Christmas character in a 1939 book written by him for his company's ad campaign? Oh dear, what's happened to my cord? You've been drinking too much. Have you been on the bottle again? Little Nick's been on the bottle again. Have to move him over a bit. There we have it. Oh. He's not doing very well there. Oh, sorry. Just adjusting his seating position. Look at the camera, will you? That's better. He's a bobble over his face. Shift up there. It's very difficult, you know. People, when they're zooming or whatever else, they never actually look at the camera, a lot of people. Not that I do most of the time, but never mind. Right, question number 2. I was supposed to have taken that out. Yeah, man. Now, to be fair, this is last year's question. I meant to take this question out and replace it with a new question, but we'll have it from last year. So this is a question from last year, so take it with a pinch of salt, but never mind. Question number 2, lost property including breast implants and stuffed pufferfish were some of the thousands of items that have been logged into a computer system aptly named Sherlock, at which London Underground station the Tube's lost property treasure trove even. Sorry. So this is lost property on the London Underground. Where is it stored, basically? So lost property, including breast implants and stuffed pufferfish, are some of the thousands of items which have been logged into a computer system aptly named Sherlock, at which London Underground station the Tube's lost property treasure trove. Obviously, the Sherlock's a big help there. It might help you somewhat with that location. I meant to take that question out because it was last year's, but never mind. Angela thinks the tablets I'm on are mixing with my beer. Oh, she says I'm slurring everything. Oh dear. I blame the microphone for not being high enough quality. Right, question number 3. On the 21st of December 1937, the first feature-length colour animated Disney film premiered to a record-breaking audience in Los Angeles. What was it called? So question 3 again. On the 21st of December 1937, the first feature-length colour animated Disney film premiered to a record-breaking audience in Los Angeles. What was it called? Yes, we saw it only a few months ago, didn't we? Fine film it was too. Some of the old ones are the best. It's surprising, actually. Question number 4. Which famous Russian composer's Symphony No. 1 in G minor is also known as Winter Daydreams? Straighten the snowman up. There we have it. So which famous Russian composer's Symphony No. 1 in G minor is also known as Winter Daydreams? Nice easy one, that, I'm sure. Matthew saying, I think Angela's made a good point there. I'm not convinced, Matthew. Could be the tablets. I've been on plenty today. Keeping my bad tooth at bay. But never mind, doesn't seem to be making much good. Question number 5. The Christmas film Miracle on 34th Street has been remade many times, but which British 2-time Oscar winner played Kris Kringle even in the 1994 remake? It's a 2-word answer after. So question 5 again. The Christmas film Miracle on 34th Street has been remade many times, but which British 2-time Oscar winner played Kris Kringle in the 1994 remake? And a good old remake it was. But then question number 6, I don't know. This seems a lot older than I thought, actually. So Sainsbury's 2014 Christmas advert featured which song, which was heard on both sides of the trenches on Christmas Eve 1914? So question 6 again. Sainsbury's 2014 Christmas advert featured which song, which was heard on both sides of the trenches on Christmas Eve of 1914? "43 years before I was born." Blimey. Question number 7. This is an interesting one if you've tried looking for the number of Christmas islands in the world. There are officially 7 Christmas islands in the world. An 8th named Christmas Island, although not technically an island, and having its own post office, lies off the coast of Canada. The question is it the west coast or is it the east coast? That's what I need to know. So there are officially 7 Christmas islands in the world. An 8th named Christmas Island, although not technically an island, and having its own post office, lies off the coast of Canada. Question is it the west coast or is it the east coast of Canada we're looking for? Stupid question, really, but never mind. I did research a year or two back how many Christmas islands there were, and I kept getting more and more and more, but I did find a site that kind of listed them all, but it was very difficult to find. Question number 8. What is a romantic comedy by William Shakespeare, believed to have been written around 1601 to 1602 as entertainment for the close of the Christmas season? So question 8 again. What is a romantic comedy by William Shakespeare, believed to have been written around 1601 to 1602 as entertainment for the close of the Christmas season? Sure you can work that one out. Question number 9. The name gives this one away. Michael Bond based which famous character on a lone teddy bear noticed on a shelf in a London store near Paddington Station on Christmas Eve 1956? So question number 9 again. Michael Bond based which famous character on a lone teddy bear he noticed on the shelf in a London store near Paddington Station on Christmas Eve 1956? And finally, question number 10. The Trafalgar Square Christmas tree is given by the people of which city as a token of gratitude to the people of London for their assistance during the years from 1940 to 1945? That's much easier than the Shakespeare nonsense. I'm not so sure as it was Martin. Come on, think you'll get the Shakespeare nonsense, I'm sure. So question 10 again. The Trafalgar Square Christmas tree is given by the people of which city as a token of gratitude to the people of London for their assistance during the years from 1940 to 1945? There we have it. Now, there's some good general knowledge there, general Christmas knowledge. Nothing more than you need. Come on, Martin, I'm sure you can work that one out. It's that romantic comedy by William Shakespeare, of all people. Right, that's the end of round 4. Well, we're flying through it tonight. It's only, what is the time? Oh, it's only 10 minutes. No, it's not. It's 8 minutes past 9. We're doing well. Been online just about an hour now. If you're interested, I will be doing a quiz on Wednesday night, stupidly, and of course next Sunday. So do stay tuned. If you're really fed up and bored and don't want to watch what's on telly, come and enjoy a Sunday night or a Wednesday night quiz. Do remember, hit the like button at the bottom, or just subscribe to my YouTube channel. The more subscribers I've got and the more likes I get, the higher up the rankings we get as far as the quiz is concerned. The more people won't be, you won't be dressed up again on Wednesday, will you? Do you want me to, Robin, or would you prefer me in my normal garb? I hadn't thought of dressing up on Wednesday, but I might do. Depends whether it puts you off or not. Right then, let's go through Christmas knowledge round number 4. Here are the answers we wanted. Robert L. May was responsible for Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Well done if you got that. He was a Christmas character brought up for a company's ad campaign. Question number 2. Lost property, including breast implants and stuffed pufferfish, could be found in the Tube's Lost Property Treasure Trove at Baker Street. Baker Street. Question number 3. On the 21st of December 1937, the full-length featured colour animated Disney film I wanted was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, of course. Number 4, Winter Daydreams, was Tchaikovsky's Symphony Number 1. Number 5 was Richard Attenborough, of course, who played Kris Kringle in God We Trust. Number 6 was Silent Night, that was heard on both sides of the trenches on Christmas Eve 1914. Number 7, Christmas Island, which isn't actually an island, but it's got its own post office, is on the east coast of Canada. It's actually in Nova Scotia. Number 8, of course, to the close of the Christmas season. Well, what else could it be than Twelfth Night? So that was William Shakespeare's play, was Twelfth Night. Number 9, Michael Bond, of course. He was famous for creating Paddington Bear. I gave you Paddington Station, so it probably wasn't that hard. And finally, number 10, which is a bit tricky. Everybody knows that the Christmas tree that's often in Trafalgar Square comes from Norway, but did you all know that it came donated from the city of Oslo? The city of Oslo donates the tree, so there we have it. Right then, everybody, if you'd like to add up and see how you fared after this round. Total scores, please. And let's see how many of you are up and near the 40s. That'll be interesting to know as we go into the final 2 rounds. Right, we have Chris Speak on 35.5. Well done, Chris. Squeaky Bob on 38. We've got Paula Lewis on 41. That's great going, Paula. Jen and Tracy are on 37. We've got Anthony Ridgway on the Ridgway, 39.5. Ian Miller's now moved on to 35. We've got Mick Roberts on 37. Faye's saying she's on 26. Well played, Faye. Martin Davis is on 28.5. He's moved up there. I hope you got that one about 12th night, Martin. Georgia Lambert and the Yorkers are on 34. We've got Grant Giffen and Jane on 36. Robin Forbes has moved on to 30. Well played. We've got Randy Skowski, 38.5. PRS have moved on to 38. Carol Green, she says disaster on 32. Oh dear. Jill Pugh on 34.5. We've got Hilary Farnham on 31.5. We've got Anne on 36. Sarah, Russ and James and Joe are on 29. We've got Andrew Lewis and Jane on 30.5. We've got Home Alone 6 doing very well. Oh, bother, they've just gone off my screen. Sorry. Oh, I've lost them all now. Oh, I've got past 5. Sorry. Right, wait a minute. Let me get back in my stride. We've got Sarah and the gang on 29. Andrew Lewis on the way. Right, here we go. Home Alone 6, 38.5 points. Famous 5 are on 32.5 points. Well played. Then we've got Don Guzzotti, 40.5. Tina Dowes has moved on to 35.5. Well done, Tina. Harry Julian in and his bottle of Shiraz on 38.5. Split the difference on 41. Mike Yates is on 32.5. We've got Penny Graham on 32.5. Team UK USA a full 10 points on that round, 38.5. We've got Pick and Mix on 39.5. Well played then. Vanessa's on 28. Footy Fox is on 30. We have the Rugby Road Club on 38 points. Roland says 30. PS, loving the hat. Michelle's on 36.5. Pick and Mix correction, 35.5. Oh dear, that's a shame. Never mind. Clive and Janet from Stockton on 38. And Squeaky Pop just said, why was the snowman doing outside? Sorry, what was the snowman doing outside the greengrocer's window, picking his nose? See ya. Yes. Applause for everybody there. Right, let's just have a look at the scores. We've got Clive and Janet on 38. We've got Rugby Road Club on 38. Team UK USA 38.5. Harry Julian in his bottle of shaft 30.5. Don Quixote 40.5. We've got Home Alone 6 38.5. There's a lot of 38.5s on here, and PRS 38. We've got Randy Skowski 38.5. And we've got Mick Roberts on 37. Ridgway's 39.5. That's a great score there. Paula Lewis at the moment on 41 alongside another team, I think, with 41 somewhere. Oh, split difference. We're also on 41. Well played then. Right then, it's getting very close. Right, 2 more rounds to go. Initial letter link. 9 general knowledge questions, where question 10 asks you to take the first letters of the first 9 answers, rearrange them to spell out something that I want. Well, I hope I readjusted this because, oh yes, yes, it's a two-word answer I want at the end. Right, here we go then. Question number 1. With Lady Gaga as godmother, which famous musician's son, Zachary, was born to a surrogate mother on Christmas Day in 2010? He's a very famous singer. We all know him. So with Lady Gaga as godmother, which famous musician's son, Zachary, was born to a surrogate mother on Christmas Day in 2010? It's a two-word answer I'm after. We all know him. Very, very famous. The clue is in there, surrogate mother. Question number 2. Named after a torture device, which heavy metal group formed on Christmas Day in 1975? I'm sure all of you torturers should know that one. Anybody that knows medieval torture devices as their specialist subject will definitely know this one. So named after a torture device, which heavy metal group formed on Christmas Day in 1975? I suppose that's a date of form a band, isn't it? Or it probably makes for some good publicity, even if they didn't form that day. But never mind. They won't be forming this Christmas Day, will they? I don't think we'll get any bands forming this Christmas Day. Not unless they're all in the same bubble. Question number 3. With this year's opponents being India, which country traditionally plays the Boxing Day Test match every year? So question number 3. With this year's opponents being India, which country traditionally plays the Boxing Day Test match every year? It's kind of in the news the other day, they were playing, so it's pretty straightforward, that one, I think. Poor old India got hammered. Dear, dear, dear. Question number 4 is one of those daft ones for you to work out. Which is the only American state that contains all the letters from the word Noel? That's N-O-E-L in its name. So which is the only American state that contains all of the letters from the word Noel in its name? That's not an easy one. Not easy, that. I will give you a minute to have a dither and a ponder over that one. I'm sure if you got a list of all the states, you'd still find it tricky to find that one out, but never mind. You need a bit of a stab in the dark with that one and hope it's right. Well, I think Boris has really kind of done it for us a little bit this year, but never mind. What else could he have done? That's the answer. Would it have been any better with anybody else? I always like those scientific advisors he brings on. Chris Whitty, he's a good one. God dear. He's nearly as boring as... No, I won't say he was as boring as, but he's a very boring person. They need a bit more personality, these scientific advisors, don't they? No, I'm not talking politics. No, sorry. Wife's just reminded me not to talk politics in any way, shape or form. So I'll get off the subject straight away. Right, question number 5. Now you've worked out question number 4. According to the New Testament, which town was the childhood home of Jesus? So question number 5. According to the New Testament, which town was the childhood home of Jesus? No. Did you just put me out the question now, didn't you? Ian's put, had a mad dash to South Wales yesterday, tea time. Grandkids got back home at 3:30 this morning. Were they asleep? I trust they were. Oh, presents. Oh, you didn't bring the grandkids back with you then. I'll just take some presents. See ya. It's not easy, is it? Travelling anywhere is a nightmare at the moment. Never mind. Question number 6. You've just got to think of silly things for this one. I don't know why I put this in actually, but never mind. This is probably one from last year's. But question number 6. What was the most watched TV show in the United Kingdom on Christmas Day 2011? I know. Don't ask. There's a good reason for that. But so what was the most watched TV show in the United Kingdom on Christmas Day 2011? Do you want a clue on that one? I'll give you a clue. Think soap opera. Probably giving it away, but never mind. I'll give you that one. Oh, by the way, I did say if you shared today's quiz on Facebook, you got an extra point. So do give yourselves an extra point if you did share it on Facebook. Just as an aside, that was. I think it was only about 2 that shared it anyway, so don't worry. Queen's speech. Yeah, they're getting her own show now, the Queen. Yeah, it's cool. Oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, well done, Faye. That's it. Faye definitely shared it. Well done, Faye. Extra point for you. Question number 7. In China, wrapping presents with what colour of paper signifies luck? So question 7 again. In China, wrapping presents with what colour of paper signifies luck? There's an awful lot of it in China, that's for sure. I think, Faye, you were one of 2. I can't remember who else shared it. I did say if anybody actually read the post, you know, I like to try and put the team scores. I did put at the end, if anybody shares this post, they'll get an extra point in tonight's quiz. But obviously, most people don't bother reading it, so there we are. That's a good read by any standards. Whoa! It's only copied from last week and put this week's winners in, but there we are. Right, question number 8. In sport, what type of races are started using a coloured lighting system known as Christmas tree? Squeaky pub. I'll definitely share it from now on. Yes, I think we could introduce this as a rule. So in sport, what type of races are started using a coloured lighting system known as a Christmas tree? That's not quite so easy. I think I've only ever been there once or twice, maybe. Question number 9. Twelfth Night is a festival that marks the coming of which Christian feast day, which falls on January the 6th and has a name that means manifestation or striking appearance in Greek. That kind of gives it away a bit, striking appearance. So Twelfth Night is a festival that marks the coming of which Christian feast day, which falls on January the 6th and has a name that means manifestation or striking appearance in Greek. I don't think we celebrated enough, to be quite honest. We should be given at least another bank holiday on the 6th, especially this year. As everywhere with what lockdown, we might as well give ourselves another day off. And finally, question number 10. The first letters of the previous 9 answers can be rearranged to spell out the name of what type of animal that is associated with Santa. And it's a 2-word answer. It starts with a single letter, the first word. which makes it a bit easier for you. So the first letters of the previous 9 answers can be rearranged to spell out the name of what type of animal that is associated with Santa. It's a 2-word answer. The first word is a single letter. Sorry, it's basically because it was stupid that when I made it up and I'd only got 8 letters instead of 9 letters. When I'd finished writing it, I realised I was 1 short. Never mind. Right, any more jokes, anybody? Or any more silly jokes? So, are the golf courses closed for Christmas? That's what I want to know. Has there been too much rain? Does it look as if play will be resumed before the new year? There's been some good football on the telly, I have to say. I was surprised with some scores this weekend, but never mind. Right then, everybody, have we worked that out? Do you remember in an initial letter link, you take the first letters of each of the 9 answers, rearrange them to spell out that animal. 2-word answer, and the first word starts with a single letter. I will, Anthony. Sounds good to me. Time I got the old boots out. Oh, don't we wear boots to play golf? Apparently they're good this year. I've still got my football boots. Matthew's saying it's singing time. Do you want me to just sing? But I tell you what, let's get little Nick singing. I'll perhaps sing along with him. The batteries are still okay. Oh, here we go. I don't know how that comes over. Probably awful. That's it. That's it all, folks. Yes, it was Jingle Bells, just in case you couldn't hear it. I could sing it myself, but I think Santa Little Nick was probably singing it better. What's that? No, agree with Robin. All right, Clive and Janet. Oh dear. Right then, everybody, let's do some marking. Are we ready to do some marking? Everybody got all the... Does anybody need any more time to work that out? Just put it in the chat column if you need a bit more time. The wife's saying yes, they need a bit more time to work it out. Oh dear. I was meant to be going to Norway this year, but after doing my sums, I found I couldn't afford it. Oh dear, that's dreadful. Oh dear. That's dreadful, fine. Never mind. I've never been to Norway. Oh, have I been to Norway? No, I don't think I've been to Norway. Been to Sweden even. Been to Finland, that was good fun. Helsinki in the snow. We loved that, didn't we? God, it's cold in Finland, that's for sure. Right then, everybody. Nobody has put in, they need any extra time. So these are the answers to the previous 9 questions. Well, 10. Here we go then. Lady Gaga as godmother. Which famous musician's son, Zachary, was born to a surrogate mother on Christmas Day 2010? That was Elton John's son, Zachary. So I needed Elton John. That gave you the E. Number 2, the name of that torture device. Which heavy metal group was formed on Christmas Day 75? That was Iron Maiden. Number 3, of course, the opponents being India this year, which country traditionally played the Boxing Day Test trophy Test match every year. That's Australia. Number 4, which is the only American state contains all the letters from the word Noel in its name. That was difficult. That was Rhode Island. Well done if you worked that out. Rhode Island. That was tricky. Number 5, according to the New Testament, the childhood town of Jesus was Nazareth. He was known as Jesus of Nazareth, of course. Number 6, I gave you that a bit. It was a soap opera. It was EastEnders on Christmas Day 2011. I can't remember why it was particularly popular, but it was that year. Number 7, in China, wrapping presents with what colour of paper signifies luck? That's red. Number 8, in sport, what type of races have started using a Christmas tree lights? It's drag races. Number 9, Twelfth Night is a festival that marks the coming of Christ. Literally meaning striking appearance. It's an epiphany. Epiphany, of course, was that festival that falls on the 6th of January. And finally, number 10. So we should have an E, a D, an R, an E, an N, an R. No, I didn't check it. An R, an A, an R. How many? We've got too many E's. We should have ended up with a reindeer. But never mind. A reindeer. 3 E's, is that right? Should be 3 E's. It is all right. The wife's arguing, but never mind. So there we have it. Apparently it is right. So let's have some scores in. We have Squeaky Bob with 46. Clive and Janet from Stockton are going way hey, but it looks that they've dropped 40 points all of a sudden, and they're on 10. We've got Jed and Tracy on 47. Carol Green's on 40. We've got the Ridgeways, 49.5 points. They're doing really well. Well done, the Ridgeways tonight. Ian Miller's on 43. Mick Robertson on 46. Fang Gasoli's 36 for a Faye. Chris Speaks on 45. We've got Randy Skowskit's on 48.5. Ann Anderson's moved on to 46 points. Well played them. Who's that? Andrew and Jane on 40.5. We've got Clive and Janet from Stockton, 38 even. Well played. Sure, that's not 48. Anyway, Matthew Blood, PRS are on 48 points. Martin Davis is on 38.5. We've got Home Alone 6 on 48.5 points. We've got Hillary, Steve, and Dexter the Dog on 41.5. Tina Davis on 45.5. That's a great score. Robin Forbes on 38. We've got Graham and Jane Gifford on 36.5. Mike Yates on 32.5. We've got the Yorkies on 41 points. Footy Fox is on 37. We've got Pickamix on 43.5. Jill and Steve Pugh now moved on to 43.5 points. They've still got to catch the Giffords up, but it's close. We've got Harry, Julie, Ian, and Shiraz on 47.5. Peter Robinson, the famous 5, have moved on to 541.5. Oh no, sorry, 41.5. We've got Anthony James and Don Quizzotti, 48.5 points. Penny Graham's on 40.5. Clive and Janet, yes, still wrong, 48 points. I thought that was about right. Team UK, USA on 47.5. We've got the Rotary Club of Rugby on a very respectable 48 points. Michelle's now moved on to 45.5. Got Sarah, Russ, Joe James on 38 points. Split the difference, however, on 51 points, along with Paula Lewis on 51 points. So they're the teams to catch. Split the difference, and Paula Lewis, fantastic scores there. However, anybody in the high 40s, it may be that we're playing for second equal or third place. We'll have to see. Or, of course, they can all trip up on the last round. You can't lose a homing pigeon. If your homing pigeon doesn't come back, then what have you lost? Is a pigeon. Well, you lost. That is dreadful. Right, that's nearly the worst joke of the night, that one, Faye, but never mind. I hope you gave yourself an extra point anyway in that last round. Right, then, here we go. Round number 6, Christmas Stupid Trivia. Around this time of year, my wife likes to play Cliff Richard music, and I also nag me about the household, what's that, errands and chores. It's a bit of mistletoe and wine. Oh dear, that's actually very good, that one, Ian. That's probably nearly joke of the night. Now, I think that's nearly as good as Roy Job's earlier effort. There's been some very good jokes tonight. So do feel free if there's any more stupid ones to play. Here we go then. Stupid Christmas Trivia. Question number 1. This is one for Mick Roberts, because he loves these questions. In fact, I'm going to buy him a book on this for Christmas if he's lucky. Oxford Street is often regarded as the capital's busiest Christmas shopping street. but how much would it cost you to buy it in the game of Monopoly? Very easy, straightforward question, that one. Oxford Street is often regarded as the capital's busiest Christmas shopping street, but how much would it cost you to buy in the game of Monopoly? Yeah, it's not really busy this week. Might be cheap. They might be selling it off. Now, that's even worse, you see. As a pub, we've been locked down now since November. That does mean to say that we didn't order any stock, whatever else, and we knew full well we probably weren't coming out, so we decided not to order anything except for just beer deliveries this week. But in Oxford Street, they got no idea they were going to be locked down 5 days before Christmas, and of course they've bought in their entire Christmas stock, which has made it very difficult for them. Question number 2. Owing to the way in which they form, how many points or sides does a snowflake have? Yeah, Mix just said it's closed now. It is closed. Won't be busy this week, you're right. I should have said the capital's busiest shopping street until this week. So, owing to the way in which they form even, how many points or sides does a snowflake have? Question number 3. Prior to 1880, a traditional English Father Christmas was not dressed in red, but was dressed in which other colour? I will allow 2, because according to the great book of Christmas things I got for last Christmas, there are a couple of Christmases, a couple of colours you can have. So prior to 1880, a traditional English Father Christmas was not dressed in red, it was dressed in what other colour? What's the input? Can you say snowflake? Of course you can say snowflake if it's meant it. It depends what sense it's meant in, but there we have it. Question number 4. This is for you serious quizzers. The first mobile phone call in Britain was made by which member of a very famous comedy duo on January the 1st, 1985? That's really a New Year's question, isn't it? I haven't quite got there yet. Never mind. So the first mobile phone call in Britain was made by which member of a very famous comedy duo on January the 1st, 1985? Yeah, Robin's saying there are a lot of people who say that London should have been in Tier 3 right from the start of lockdown too. They should have done, yeah, you're right. Sarah saying, very strange here tonight in Worcester. Our feed is a bit sow, making Nick sound blurred. Would have blamed it on the beer, but we keep dropping behind in time. Very strange. Maybe, yeah, maybe. Maybe, Sarah, we need to you need to disconnect and reconnect again. Maybe you've got a bit of lag in there. Yeah, I sound slurred anyway. Can blame it on the beer or the bad tooth tonight. But I can't open my mouth. Oh dear. Right then, we've got that comedy duo, the person there. Question number 5. Which Christmas gift of the very highest quality, also known as oil of Lebanon, comes from Oman? So question 5 again. Which Christmas gift of the very highest quality, also known as oil of Lebanon, comes from Oman? Interesting country, Oman. I remember playing beach volleyball in Oman. for all you that are interested. Well, I'm sure you're not. Right, question number 6. What was stolen from Westminster Abbey on Christmas Day 1950? On the 3rd of July 1996, Prime Minister John Major announced to the House of Commons that it would be returned to reside in Edinburgh Castle. Kind of gives it away a bit, doesn't it? So what was stolen from Westminster Abbey on Christmas Day 1950? On the 3rd of July 1996, Prime Minister John Major announced to the House of Commons that it would be returned to reside in Edinburgh Castle. Question number 7 is really a geography question. By law, only white Christmas lights are allowed for display in Guildford, just south of the state capital, Hartford. But in which US state would you find Guildford? Got to know your states there, haven't you? So questions that this will help USA, Team US, UK. You should do well with this one. So by law, only white Christmas lights are allowed for display in Guildford, just south of the state capital, Hartford. But in which US state would you find Guildford? It's actually on the coast. What's that? Am I missing something? What's that? Chocolate orange Baileys cake for snack tonight. I made it this afternoon. That sounds lovely. So, presumably, a chocolate cake. What's that? You've been watching MasterChef, haven't you, Faye? It's when they make that chocolate ball thing, put it in the fridge and cut it in half and smother it with orange. Sounds good to me. That sounds lovely. Question number 8. Which pudding with a misleading name was banned by English Puritans because it was deemed to be sinfully rich? So question 8 again. Which pudding with a misleading name was banned by English Puritans because it was deemed to be sinfully rich? The Puritans had a lot to answer for, actually. They banned a lot of things at Christmas, but never mind. Surprised they didn't ban Christmas altogether. Ooh. Well then, Faye, you'll have to save a bit for Nick the Quizmaster. Ha ha ha. It sounds like you're enjoying it anyway, as I'm enjoying the beer. Question number 9. Superstition dictates that when making mince pies for Christmas, one should always stir in which direction? You've obviously got the choice. Is it clockwise or anti-clockwise? So superstition dictates that when making mince pies for Christmas, one should always stir in which direction? The wife's trying it now to see which seems the more obvious. I'm just mimicking the wife, what she's doing. I'm not stirring it or anything, but oh dear. Yes, okay. They're called mince pies because they used to have meat mince in them originally, until Victorian times when they suddenly decided that putting meat in them was too expensive. They put fruit in them, made them a bit cheaper, and actually they quite liked them, so that tradition carried on. Interesting facts you get here, you see. You don't get these facts every day of the week. And finally, question number 10. Rather poignantly today, in December 1897, what did over 1 million women ask Queen Victoria to shut on Sundays over the festive season? So rather poignant today, in December 1897, what did over 1 million women ask Queen Victoria to shut on Sundays over the festive period? Why they asked her, I don't know. Never mind. Oh dear. No, You don't still, well, could be. Superstition dictates when making mince pies for Christmas. Well, you've got to make mince meat, haven't you? You know. Yeah, that is a bit of a deviously stupid question, but never mind. I'll look it up afterwards. I expect it means when you're mixing the mince meat, which is not really meat but fruit, before you make the pie. Because obviously there's you make the pastry, you make the mince meat. I don't know. But never mind. I'm sorry. It could be a Christmas pudding as well, Graham. Yes, it could be. So let's just say whatever. You've just got to choose one or the other. Unless you know the answer, of course. But never mind. It's a Christmas quiz. What could be more stupid? Personally, I think you should move Christmas to April. The shops are not as busy. You're quite right. Perhaps we should. Well, it's going to be a bit of a write-off Christmas this year, isn't it? Perhaps I'll go to Christmas Island and see whether we can enjoy it there later in the year. We could go in June to Christmas Island. Why not? Well, there we have it. There are 10 stupid questions. And let's see how we've fared with that little lot. I'm sorry, that last round probably wasn't my best, but never mind. It's not easy. A bit stupid, but there we have it. Now, I'm not quite sure what to do on Wednesday night, whether to do another Christmas quiz or just do a... No, the wife saying no, we'll just do a plain, straightforward quiz on Wednesday night. So if all of you that would like to join us on Wednesday night, do feel free. If not, do come and join us next Sunday, or we'll be doing the quiz just after Christmas. It does look like a lot of us are just going to be locked down, so you either watch the telly or you watch me, I suppose, which is about the same thing, really, for some people, but never mind. And do a quiz to keep you going. And it keeps your knowledge going. You always learn something. I'm sure somebody somewhere, even one or two of you, have learned one stupid fact tonight, if not lots of stupid facts, but never mind. So here we go then. Here are the answers to round 6, the stupid Christmas trivia round. Here we go then. Question number 1, Oxford Street, often regarded as the busiest Christmas shopping street. It would cost you £300 for Oxford Street. Regent Street also costs £300. I think Bond Street's £320, isn't it? Question number 2, owing to the way in which they form, how many points around all sides does a snowflake have? They have 6, something to do with the way that oxygen and I don't ask. It seemed a bit complicated to me to work that one out. Number 3, prior to 1880, a traditional English Father Christmas was dressed in either green or tan. It could be tan. So green or tan. You can have a point for either of those. Question number 4, the first mobile phone call in Britain was made, of course, by Ernie Wise. Ernie Wise. Number 5, which Christmas gift of very highest quality is also known as oil of Lebanon. It comes from Oman. It's known as frankincense, of course, frankincense, oil of Lebanon. Number 6, it was the stone of Scone that was nicked on Christmas Day 1950. We eventually gave it back to the Scots in 1996. Number 7, by law, only white Christmas lights are allowed to display in Guildford. Where is Guildford? It's in Connecticut. Connecticut. Well done if you got that. Number 8, which pudding with a misleading name was banned by English Puritans? It's plum pudding. Plum pudding. It's got a misleading name because apparently plums were rarely put in plum pudding, but never mind. Number 9, superstition dictates that when making mince pies, well, that's the question I've got, even if it's wrong, but never mind. Which way should one stir? You should stir in a clockwise direction, And finally, rather poignantly, of course, 1 million women wanted to see the pubs shut over the festive season. Does that mean women don't like going to pubs so much, or does it mean that their husbands got drunk so much they came back and beat them all or something, I suppose, but never mind. So there we have it. There are the final round. Let's see how we've all done. Squeaky Pod have come in with a fantastic 55 points, and that's a great score. No, it's called plum pudding. Yeah, plum pudding's the answer. So, Squeaky Pod with 55. We've got Jen Tracy in 56. Ian Miller's going boo bar humbug, 42. Leslie Barrett. George Lambert and Yorkies on 41. Well played them. Clive and Janet from Stockton on 58. That's a great score. Carol Dean ends up on 46. We got Anthony, the Ridgeways on 58.5. That's a remarkable score. Well played, the Ridgeways. Ian Miller on 50. We got the famous 5 on 50.5. We got Harry Julian in and his bottle of jazz on 54.5. Graham Giffords also ended up with 54.5. Well played, Graham. Oh, we got Mick Roberts on 54. That's another great score. Well played, Mick. Martin Davis there on 43.5. He won't be pleased with that. Hillary Farland on 48.5. We've got Randy Scarskits on 56.5 points. Well played, the Randy Scarskits. Mike Yates ends up with 50. Well played, Mike. Jill and Steve Pugh on 52.5. Well played, you. Sarah, Russ, Joe and James on 44 points, as is Roland Forbes on 44 points. Well played, you two. Andrew Lewis on 46.5. Well played, Andrew. Andrew and Jane, that is. Ann Anderson on 54. We've got the Rugby Rose Club ending up on 55.5 points. Some good scores there. Faye's ended up on 46 points with PRS on 58 points. Well played, PRS. Don Cazotto, 57.5 points. There's some good scores here. They've been picked by PRS by half a point. 40 Fox, 86 are on 53 points. Home Alone 6, dismal last round. Oh dear. Never mind. 54.5 points. That's still very good. The Quizzy Rascals end up with 61 points. That's excellent. Well played, the Quizzy Rascals. They've been consistently good scorers. Merry Christmas, everyone, she's saying. Chris Speak ends up, we haven't put down that. Well, Penny Graham ends up on 47.5. Michelle, 54.5 points. Tina Davis beating her husband on 53.5 points. Well played, Tina. Team UK USA, 54.5 points. Well played then. Merry Christmas to everybody. Matthew saying, have a great Christmas, everyone. As is, thanks for another great quiz, blah, blah, blah. Thank you very much. Good night all. Tina saying good night. Georgia's saying good night. Clara's saying good night. So it looks like I haven't got, there's one score I haven't got in yet. Looks like tonight's winners. No. Quizzy Rascals. Quizzy Rascals win tonight's quiz on 61 points. Well played there. No, I haven't got split different score. Can't see it. No, I've gone past it. Anyway, whatever. It's great to see everybody. Thank you very much. Do feel free to come and join us on Wednesday night for our next quiz. I hope my tooth's better by then I won't be slurring my words so much. But some great scores in there tonight. It's not as if you can go out and use all that knowledge on another quiz because we'll all be locked in, I suppose. But you might say something on the telly. I hope you've all learned at least one fact tonight, even if it's a stupid fact, but never mind. Let's look forward to seeing you all again. Before you close down, do hit the like button if you've liked tonight's quiz, just to make sure that I get up in the rankings, which is what I want to do. So good night all, and thank you very much. I'm ending the stream now, and it's been a pleasure to do the quiz all year long, and it'll be great to see you all on Wednesday if you'd like to come Wednesday. If not, do come and join us next Sunday for our next quiz just after Christmas. So thank you very much. We'll see you then. Good night all.